Good afternoon, everyone out there that may be watching, and also Deputy Mayor Councillor Oy, who is online today rather than being in person because he unfortunately has contracted COVID. So anyway, welcome, Chan. I'm sure you'll survive. Hindmarsh Shire Council acknowledges that this meeting is being held on the lands of the Watchabola, Java, Jali, Werrigai and Yuggawalt nations, and we acknowledge them as traditional owners of country. We recognise the important ongoing role that Indigenous people have in our community and pay our respects to their elders past and present. This meeting is being broadcast on the internet, and the recording of the meeting will be published on Council's YouTube channel and linked to Council's website. As a visitor in the public gallery, you may be filmed. By remaining in the public gallery, you consent to being filmed and the recording of you made publicly available by Council. A copy of Council's live streaming and recording of Council meetings policy is available at the back of this room and on Council's website. Please speak with one of our staff members if you have any questions. I'll hand over to Councillor Barry to read our statements of values. Thank you.
Yeah, our commitment is to come prepared to every meeting, fostering a respectful and inclusive environment where accountability and approachability are at the core of our actions. We value and encourage innovation, collaboration and open communication, always keeping in mind the well-being, the needs of our community. Together, we stand united as one, working towards shared goals with mutual respect and consideration. Thank you.
Item 2, apologies, and we have an apology from Councillor Clark, and I guess an almost apology from Councillor Oy for not being able to be here in person, but you are on deck with us. So yeah, so we have an apology from Councillor Clark, who is in Western Australia somewhere apparently. Item 3, declarations of interest. Is there any councillor around the table that's got a general or material conflict of interest, or any staff? No. Righto. All right. Item 4, confirmation of minutes and business arising. And we have a recommendation.
Will we move?
Yes.
Thank you. That the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on Wednesday, the 18th of June 2025 at the Nil Council Chambers, 92 Nelson Street, Nil, as circulated to councillors, be taken as read and confirmed.
Thank you. And a seconder? Councillor Barker? The comment, I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? Motion carried. Item 4.2, business arising from previous minutes. Need a confirmation?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's just there for information.
Oh, information. Sorry, my apologies. Item 5, public question and submission time.
Mayor, we have 2 questions today from Leonie Miller of Nil. Question 1. On 21st of August 2024, Hindmarsh Shire Council hosted an information centre in Dimboola about the potential for local businesses to partner with Donald Rare Earth and Mineral Sands project and encouraged attendees to come on board with this venture. Since that event, the project has been the subject of controversy. There is concerns about the impacts on farmland, environment and local infrastructure. Reports of lack of community engagement and transparency and lack of planning for rehabilitation at the end of the project have also been made. Will Hindmarsh Shire Council continue to encourage local businesses to partner with the Donald Mineral Sands project? And I'll hand to Council's Director of Corporate and Community Services to answer.
Thank you. And thank you, Leonie. At the August Hindmarsh Business Networking session held in Dimboola, the Stakeholder Engagement Manager from Donald Mineral Sands delivered a presentation outlining the proposed project located between Minyip and Donald. The role of Hindmarsh Shire Council in relation to new projects or business developments is to ensure that our communities and local businesses are well positioned to benefit directly. These benefits may include increased employment opportunities, attracting new residents to the region and securing funding or sponsorship to support community initiatives. A key focus of DMS's presentation were the potential opportunities for service-based businesses within Hindmarsh Shire, given the project's proximity. It is important to clarify that Hindmarsh Shire Council, along with other regional bodies, does not play a role in attracting such projects nor in the approval process. Typically, Council becomes aware of these developments only after substantial planning has been undertaken to assess their viability. Approvals for the projects of this nature are managed by both state and federal government authorities. If the project moves forward, it presents a valuable opportunity for local businesses and residents to get involved and benefit directly. When local participation is strong, the economic returns stay within the community. Otherwise, external service providers will step in and the potential for local economic growth could be missed. It is not in Council's interest to determine what information is shared or withheld in relation to community and regional development initiatives. However, Council remains committed to actively promoting opportunities that support the growth, resilience, and long-term sustainability of our communities.
Thank you. Leonie's second question today. Following only one response from councillors to an email I sent to each of you regarding the Emergency Services Volunteer Fund, could you please clarify their position on the ESVF, Emergency Services Volunteer Fund tax, and any ongoing measures that will be undertaken on this issue? I'm going to hand to the Mayor and councillors to answer.
Thank you, Isabel. Certainly, we are very vehemently opposed to this ESV tax that's been put on our rural communities, and we've certainly been very vocal about it. We certainly don't want to be imposing this on our communities, but it is a state government thing that we have to comply with, and we've got an obligation to do that. So I don't know if there's a real lot we can do about it. We're certainly not happy with it, but I'll hand over to some of our other people around the table to make comment.
Also, look, legally, personally, I hate it. Unfortunately, the government's got themselves in a position where they're looking for money, and legally, we have to take what they say. Legislation on it, it's changed. We all have. Simple.
That's right. And we all advocate against it in numerous ways. Our mayor sent a letter to the state premier stating as much. And we have also been advocating with MAV and the rural councils of Victoria, who also advocate directly to the state government, along with the 79 other councils in Victoria. And we've asked our CEO to organise other ministers and shadow ministers to come and talk to us about it, and so we can discuss the levy and voice our objection to the levy. So we have actually got meetings scheduled with the member of the Victorian Legislative Council, Bev MacArthur, and the Greens Minister, Sarah Mansfield. That has also been organised. So we are doing our best to advocate to whoever we can get to come and talk to us, and whoever we can send to.
Through the mayor, as James and Rose and the mayor were saying, look, we're doing as much as we can from our end. Most mornings, I'm from the northern part of our shire, and people are still talking about this every other day in the street. So it's a big thing. But yeah.
One other thing, I remember one of our first things as councillors were at the Little Desert Village, well and truly before the fires. This levy come up there. Then a lot of people don't realise we've been trying to fight it since then.
Yeah, which was October 2024, right?
Before it hit any media, we've been trying.
Right. And so we are advocating against the levy. It is clearly written on the rates notices by our council, so in red, so that people can see it. And you know, as James, Councillor Barry, rightly pointed out, it has gone through into legislation and it is law. So our council, we cannot direct our council staff to disobey charging that levy. So, but we can advocate against it in the best ways that we can. As councillors.
Absolutely, Rosie. I mean, the council unfortunately is legally obligated to collect this levy and as passed by legislation. So hands are tied at this stage.
Councillor, you would like to make comment? Maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe?
basically everyone's you know, have said everything that I agree to, and also just listening to the community groups. I think the group, not in our name, they're holding a conference in Moonee Ponds. I've registered with that as well, but I did say I see how I go to attend just to hear, you know, how the community across the state, you know, handling this and what the conference is about, you know. So we are listening, but at the same time our hands are tied. So but at the same time, you know, we're not giving up. So if I can, I would like to attend Moonee Valley this Saturday just to, you know, to be on the ground with everyone. But there's only so much we can do. But you know, I hope as a group at that conference, you know, maybe something good can be achieved. But you know, we are trying, but at the same time there are challenges. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we've covered that reasonably well. Could I just go back to question one? The earlier question about mining and all that stuff. There has been raised, I think, at Ararat when we were at Ararat there. Early in the year, was it, that we went to Ararat and they talked about all the mining and they talked about mining companies coming in and doing some pretty ordinary like donga type accommodation and that. And while not everyone likes all this mining stuff coming in, there's nothing we can do to stop it as such, but we can advocate for them to put in proper housing and build, you know, housing that can be used in our communities after all this, you know, mines usually come and go and leave a legacy behind it that our councils can use. So it's not all bad, I suppose. I mean, I know it's a lot of controversy over in other neighbouring councils with all this mining stuff, but it's certainly you know, something that no one can really, if they decide they want to mine, they're going to mine, and you know, that landowners only own the top bit of the soil as far as I'm aware, and you know, if they leave a legacy behind, it can be used by the councils at least. You know, there's something to be got out of it. So just thought I'd add that to it. So
Are you suggesting to create a motion to ask our councils to send a letter to this organisation along those lines? Because I saw the motion more about that we were supportive of it, but as it isn't actually in Hindmarsh Shire, we were just suggesting. I wasn't a councillor then, but it seems to me that we were suggesting that that it could be an opportunity for services in Hindmarsh Shire to put themselves forward for like supplying dongas or whatever, you know. So I sort of felt that was more, you know, what it was about, rather than us advocating against mining or against them doing their mining in that region, or how they remediated the mine when they completed it.
I don't think we need a motion at this stage. I can see where the mayor's coming from, because I was actually at some of these meetings at Timboola and from 18 months ago and last year about the mining stuff and the prospects of having accommodation built or money there supplied in the areas. You know, across the Timboola, because we're wondering, Timboola too far away? Is Parrot too far away? And the mining mob said no. It isn't. It's a good distance. You know, they need to get away from their work sites. They don't particularly want to have anything as a man camp on site. There's one close by, I think at Minyip or Matoa, I believe. Don't quote me on that one. Yeah, so.
all right, well, I think that's probably all we need to say at this stage.
Well, I can thank Leonie for reminding us about the mining and how it may impact on Hindmarsh Shire Council in our region.
Yeah,
Thank you for your
absolutely.
response, Petra.
All right, we'll move on to item 6, activity reports. Seeing on at the top, I'll start off. Nil Lions Club changeover, and I have made a note here. Delightfully entertained and emceed by Councillor Barker. And it was a really good day, and she certainly had everyone in stitches from time to time and did an absolutely wonderful job of emceeing the event. and it was it was a good day. Canberra, chilly as always. I've always enjoyed going and meeting with all the people from across Australia, and spoke with people in outback remote areas of Australia. They all seem to have the same issues with roads and lack of road funding. There was 1,300 delegates at the conference, I think, which is a bit of a record. I think when I went previously, there was about 800 delegates. So it was, quite a few more people. And then they had some really good guest speakers. The motions there was 198 motions we had to go through, and they can be very long-winded, and they've streamlined a little bit, so you don't have to vote on every motion if it's put up and no one opposes it, just automatically goes through, where we used to have to vote on every motion that came up. But so it was, we had a presentation dinner at Parliament House, which was pretty interesting stuff, and I enjoyed the opportunity, and there's some good stuff. They had a whole heap of stalls there that we could go around and look at as well, and there were some interesting things amongst that as well. So Nil Rotary Club District Governor changeover event in Nil recently, and Christine Duffy is now a regional governor, and congratulations to her. And I don't think they've had a governor in this area for quite some time, but that was a good thing to be able to attend as well. And I also attended the GWM Grampians Wimmera Mallee Tourism radio broadcast in lovely Dimboola, along with our Deputy Mayor and Councillor Barker and Councillor Barry. And that was a great day, and I spent a bit of time and went around some of the shops in Dimboola, and I'm impressed with some of the Enchanted Garden little shop there, and I bought some things out of the shop, and I was very impressed with all the different things they had in their shop, and the antique shop across the road, and I interviewed Councillor Oy and myself and a few others, and put us on the map. So I thought it was a great event as well. So having said that, Councillor Oy, I'll hand over to you.
Oh, thank you. I attend Westvic Business on a regular basis. So basically, I represent Hindmarsh Shire Council. I update them on what happened in our area, but also it's a great opportunity for me to understand what other towns are doing, other shires. So that's always informative. Also, I attend a webinar from the Victorian Tourism Industry Council about submitting the Wimmera Steampunk Festival for the Top Tourism Award. There's a learning curve with that one. There's a lot of requirements and paperwork, but I'm treating it as an exercise to get ready for one day we can submit Dimboola in the top town category. So it's the same organisation, so it's a good opportunity for me to understand how that organisation works. Of course, the planning workshop. Not in our name, that's as I mentioned before, they're holding a conference in Moonee Valley about the emergency services levy. The senior concerts, that was great to see our older senior citizens get out of the house to make that effort to connect with each other and be entertained. So that was good for Neil and Dimboola, the ones I attended. The ACE radio broadcast was great. As you know, it's about the recovery process for the region. We also got Escape magazine coming to Dimboola this weekend and going to Chaparrot. So that's a significant development for this region. And of course, I also attended the Chaparrot Town Committee meeting just to sort of give them an idea of my vision, I suppose, a bold one at that, to help reinvigorate the town. But it's up to the community to embrace ideas and also come up with new ideas. So hopefully that made an impact. That's really it. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor. Councillor Aiken.
Thank you. So a number of meetings the last month. I've had a few this month, but that'll come out next month's report. So I had the Rainbow Tan Committee, Pioneer Museum meeting at Parrot, the briefing meeting here in Nil. We had the Land Care meeting to organise the up and coming tree planting weekend this weekend, which has now been cancelled because of the up and coming weather event, which will hopefully it does rain this time around. Men shed meeting, that's coming along quite well now in Rainbow again. The seniors concert, I went to Rainbow and Japarra, was greatly attended. It was fantastic. I was quite amazed how many people turned up, young and old, which was really good for both Rainbow and Japarra. And then I had a meeting at the learning group at Neighbourhood House in Rainbow with some things that are coming up into the future, but I'll speak about that at next council meeting when it comes about. Thank you. Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Barker.
Thank you, Mayor Ismay. I did attend the Audit and Risk Committee meeting. Also, in the last month, we had the Nil and District Sporting Club WorkSafe events, which was, a great privilege to attend and really interesting evenings. We had a mental health speaker come from WorkSafe. Just ran a very interesting evening. It was very well attended. And I think there wouldn't be a soul in the room who wasn't impressed with that event. I also, another night, they had the dinner and had Tom Boyd, who was an ex-AFL player, and Shelley O'Donnell, of course, the Australian Diamonds team, Netball Australia Hall of Fame member, and a team of the Century member for netball. So it was really great to see that, and that was a dinner and evening that was really well attended, and both those sports people spoke very well and were very inspirational to the young people that attended that. Also did attend the changeover for the Nil Lions Club. They do an amazing amount of work as volunteers in our community. And it was great to see so many people being recognised for their efforts over considerable numbers of years. We also had the Nil Town Committee, which, we have new members that have put their hands up for that. And so we've got lots of innovative and exciting ideas for collaborating for community things in the future as well. Also attended the Not Now Name, which Councillor we talked about before in regard to the levy and what's happening in Melbourne too. That others have spoken about the GWM tourism, the U campaign launch. Apparently, we are the most important people in our area, so it's up to us to attract and send off to all of our friends, family, and other people that don't live in Hindmarsh Shire to kind of get them to come and see what's available here. It's a great website, and there is a link for that on the Hindmarsh Shire webpage as well. I have also been to an induction for the MAV advisory panel, representing the health and wellbeing for Victoria. So it's about, obviously I'll be thinking of Hindmarsh most of the time. So the other areas, the other sectors for MAV for that advisory panel is also climate futures, which I think is important for our farmers, and connected places. That's the community aspect, and the future gen. So that's our young people, because where are we without them? So I've had it really, I'm really excited to have that privilege to be part of thinking about our health and wellbeing for the whole of Victoria through the MAV Association. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations on being appointed to that panel.
Thank you.
It's really good to have someone from our council representing.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so too, because it's about rural and regional. We're bringing that perspective to us. It's not just a city perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Need to inform those city people about what goes on in the bush, don't we?
Indeed.
Okay, Councillor Barry.
Like I said, I wish I didn't go after Rosie. She does too much. But anyway, I just done a couple of things. I done a council workshop plan as well, and the meetings and that. I also went to the Dimboola, the U campaign. Just one thing I mentioned, I don't normally bring up, that just the previous weekend gone, we had the junior football netball carnival at Dimboola. I attended. It was good to see there was 360 registrations on the football side, plus well over probably 200 of the netball side. And at the end of the day, I happened to talk to Ange Ballinger, who's we were AFL organiser. She said that Dimboola place, because we use the high school oval as well as a rec reserve, they couldn't have done it in any other town. And everyone got a pat on the back for that. Yeah.
Yeah, well done, and my condolences for not winning on Saturday.
What are you talking about? Football?
Yeah, girl. Yeah.
Were you there?
The Lubber Duck Cup.
No. Your sporting club.
My sporting club. You know what? I was actually at Merv Snyder's.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Party at the time that was on.
Yes or no?
I
No.
had to choose between the two, bro. Thank you.
No, you weren't there.
Okay. Councillor Clark's not here, so he can't report. Anyway. Item 7, correspondence. And I reckon oh, sorry, I knew that. I wanted to make sure he was able to.
I would like to move the motion because I would like to speak to the motion.
Yes, absolutely.
So I do move the motion that council notes the attached correspondence.
Thank you. And a seconder? I'll second that. Thank you. Councillor Barry. Parker, sorry.
I can just, I still
No,
can't
no,
understand why we
no,
changed
no.
the show day just to this town, but anyway, that's what happens, doesn't it?
Well, I would like to thank the council for responding to a number of inwards correspondence. There were 2 letters that I was particularly interested in, a letter from Macedon Ranges Shire Council and the Queenscliff, the Borough of Queenscliff, in regard to the ESVFL levy. I did think that the Macedon Ranges Shire Council in particular had a well presented and well thought through advocacy in regard to the levy, and I was wanting to suggest that we reply to that as a council to reiterate our advocacy around the ESVFL levy, so that they are aware that we are supporting what they are advocating for and what they're saying in those letters, and in that basis responding also to the Borough of Queenscliff.
So, we have a motion here, so Councillor Barry don't want to respond? No, okay. We'll put the motion, all in favour? Against, the motion carried, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Should we need a motion?
Yeah, so councillor Barker.
Okay.
Reply to Macedon Ranges and
So
support.
you'd like to move that as a motion?
Yes, I would.
Right. And I need a seconder. Councillor Aiken? Don't need to speak to it any further? No?
I think, well, I would just add that I think it is really important that our community recognises that as councillors, we are advocating in every way that we can to let the current government be aware that we're not happy with the process and what has happened. And so this is an opportunity to show our agreement to other councils as well.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Put the motion, all in favour? Against, motion carried, thank you. Item 8, Assembly of Councillor Records and a recommendation.
I'll move that the council notes the Assembly of Council records as presented.
Thank you, and a seconder? Councillor Oy. Thank you. Don't need to speak to it, all in favour? Against, motion's carried, thank you. Item 9, planning permits, and there aren't any. Item 10, reports requiring a decision. TAC local government grant funding application, raised pedestrian crossing in Hindmarsh Street, Dimboola. This report seeks approval to submit a funding application on the current round of the TAC local government grant program to construct a raised pedestrian crossing on Hindmarsh Street, Dimboola, following a request from the Dimboola Primary School. The total cost of the project would be approximately $150,000 with $75,000 from grant funding and $75,000 from council required if successful. The council contribution of up to $75,000 will be referred for inclusion in the capital works program set out in the draft 2026-2027 annual budget. And I open up for discussion. Or Director of Infrastructure would like to make comment about it?
I'm happy to answer any
And
questions.
questions, right?
It's well and truly noted according to the documents, is that right?
Yeah. So the recent traffic study, suggests that there's a high volume of traffic in that space, nearly 450 vehicles per day, a lot of non-compliance in terms of speeding. Over 55% of vehicles were travelling at the speed higher than the posted speed limit of 40 kilometres per hour, and the maximum speed during the camp was 90.7 kilometres per hour.
That seems to be a lot of vehicles down that road. What's the reason for it? Is it just
The school and
just the school? Oh, because it's drop off and pick up time. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So I do have some questions for you, Ram. What is the anticipated completion of the Hindmarsh Street crossing in Dimboola?
Yep. So if we become successful, it will be budgeted or programmed in 26-27 financial year, and we'll be required to complete it within that financial year. So at most June 2027 we have to complete by, but it will depend on it's announced. So we'll if we're successful, we'll start planning on July 2026.
Thank you. I also note in this motion that the crossing at Whitehead Avenue in Nil was also identified as a priority project for upgrade for a raised pedestrian crossing. I personally have seen quite a number of scary incidents in Whitehead Avenue, especially considering there's a number of heavy vehicles going through there at speed. And that's also going to be included in a crossing there, a change to the crossing there as well?
Yep. So we have been allocated $2 million from joint government on the Safe Local Roads and Street program, and we are negotiating with TAC and Department of Transport to include Whitehead Avenue and Davis Avenue crossing and the footpath in Whitehead Avenue on the north side to facilitate the crossing from the school kids. And the project has progressed significant development. So we've got the concept design. We're still waiting for the final approval from TAC. And after that, we'll proceed into the detailed design and construction phase.
Thank you. And so I imagine that's going to take some time, same as the Hindmarsh Road one. And considering the speeds that were picked up in Dimboola there, and what visually as seen in Whitehead Avenue and Davis, is there potential for us to, put up some kind of warnings or social media concepts or something that can remind people that this is where children are likely to be in the interim before, even afterwards, that this is an area of children and, for people to slow down?
Yeah.
Generally.
So if this project goes ahead, we'll have it completed in this financial year. So end of June. At the max, once that's completed, it will be obvious that all of the changes on the road will make it obvious that it's a crossing point and people will see it. Before that, we post on Facebook. It's already posted at school zone at 40 kilometres per hour, but we can still do some more social media.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, any further questions? If not, there is a Recommendation is on us.
I'll move that the council endorses proposal funding of the application under the TAC local government grant program for consideration of a raised pedestrian crossing in Hindmarsh Street, Dimboola, and 2, refers the council contribution of up to 75,000 to the draft 2026-2027 annual budget.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
Dimboola, Chairman.
Councillor Hoy, you would like to speak to that motion, Councillor Barrett?
No, well, I think it's needed.
Yeah.
Probably around anywhere where the kids are, where there's that amount of traffic and that both Nil and Dimboola, it's required.
Councillor Hoy, you would like to comment?
Yeah, it's a busy road because you've also got the recycling facilities there as well. So I'm quite surprised by the figures. It's quite high up there in terms of number of cars using that street. So I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, the motion is carried. Thank you. Item 10.2, Council Plan and Public Health and Wellbeing Plan. This report presents the draft 2025-2029 Council Plan for endorsement, including the revised Community Vision and Public Health and Wellbeing Plan, ahead of public consultation from 24th of July to 12 p.m. on the 22nd of August 2025. The plan is based on extensive two-stage community engagement, including a survey and a deliberative process. It is structured around 4 key themes: our community, built a natural environment, competitive and innovative economy, and good governance and financial sustainability, each aligned with Council's budget and service areas. Each theme includes 3 goals, supported by 3 to 4 priorities that outline the broad action areas we will prioritise to achieve each goal. These goals and priorities will guide Council's work over the next 4 years, with a focus on communication, improved processes, innovation and growth. Also included in the draft 2025-2026 Council Plan Action Plan, outlining proposed action for the year and a roadmap for future years. While indicative actions are mapped out beyond 2025-2026, Council will consult annually to refine them. We thank everyone who contributed, especially the community panel whose input helped shape the revised vision and many of the goals and priorities. So, are there any questions regarding this report? No?
Report.
I'd like to talk to the report.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move the motion.
Does our Director of Corporate and Community Services want to make any comment? No?
I'm happy to. I think probably emphasising, and Rosie might touch, Councillor Barker might touch on this shortly, but this is a really exciting and important document that's been a long time in the making and has been driven by a lot of community consultation sessions, listening posts, budget consultation, community action plans. Everything has brought us to this moment where we have this amazing draft document to present to the community. So we'll be very active on our social media, talking through the opportunities that people will have to consult and give us some feedback before it's formally adopted, to make sure you have a look.
Yes.
Yeah, well said.
So I'd like to move the motion.
Yep.
I would like to move the motion that council endorses the draft council plan for 2025 to 2029, including the revised community vision and the municipal public health and wellbeing plan for public consultation. 2, endorses the council plan action plan 2025-2026 for public consultation. And 3, sincerely thank the members of the community panel that came. That was very good for their input, as well as those who responded to the Have Your Say Hindmarsh survey online.
Very good. Do I have a second? Councillor Aiken. Like to speak to the motion? Councillor Barker?
Yes, I would. So I'd reiterate what our Director of Community Services said there. The community panel that came had lots of innovative ideas. The Nine Creek Consulting ran that really well. I think it's and even the comments on and the suggestions on the Have Your Say survey were really useful, and you can see the feedback in the paperwork. I think that the online survey we have continued, and so sometimes you can't get to the things that what you want to say about the resulting plan is now going to be our CEO, Michael Ravel, is going to be available at the libraries, and that those will be advertised in social media those times. It's also in our paperwork as well. Our councillors will be available at the town committee meetings, and we will have that online webinar coming up on was it the 13th of August of an evening. So that'll be great if people want to come in online and have a chat to us about what they think about the plan. I just want to point out a couple of things, like the plan is broke. We have the plan on a page, gives you a snapshot of what we're thinking, but we'll go into detail on the other. There is a more detailed plan broken down into years. I would just point out a number of things in the community area that I think are valuable. One, and I don't want to talk all day, but one thing in particular is the supporting of the work that's done through the FFV LGP for the local sporting clubs to improve participation rates for women and girls. Because and just sporting generally, how we can support our sporting network here in Hindmarsh Shire, because sport leads can be is a really big part in our community. Whether we play sport or not, we may just watch it. It builds confidence, which then helps people experience life in a more dynamic way, and builds good mental health, good physical health, and then leads to people feeling comfortable to participate into, and young people to participate into employment as well. Sport is a very, very important part, and we have quite a number of points on our plan in regard to that. And I just don't want to talk all day, but from a community perspective, starting with health and wellbeing, I think is a really nice part to point out. But I look forward to seeing you all on the 13th of August. Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Hagan?
As Councillor Barker said, look, well spoken. Thanks, Petra and everyone else for working on this. So yeah, all good.
All right. No further comment? I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, motion carried. Item 10.3, Hindmarsh Outdoor Pool Service Review 2025-2026 season. This report presents a summary of feedback from the Hindmarsh Outdoor Pools community engagement undertaken through April and May 2025, and recommends that Council endorses the proposed amended service changes based on community input. After completion of the first season of running Hindmarsh Outdoor Pools directly, Hindmarsh Shire Council reviewed attendance, opening hours and staffing to plan for the 2025-2026 season. Based on this review, Council engaged with the community on a set of proposed changes that ensure we are responsibly balancing resources across other services that are incredibly important to the Hindmarsh community, whilst keeping the pools open on days and times that suit users. These changes include amended opening hours, changing the way we extend hours when it's hot, improved communication and availability of information around pool opening times, and a closure day that enables planned maintenance of pool facilities. The discussion section of the report provides officers' responses to the free text feedback and details the amended proposed service changes that are recommended for the 2025-2026 season. The report also notes that Council will be investigating a hybrid access model that enables users to access the pool safety without a lifeguard present, as well as having specified priority hours where the pools are staffed. Now I'll open up for discussion. Questions?
Okay.
Councillor Barker.
It's been a great deal of work and discussion, and have you say, all of the have you says were responded to. And I see that out of that, we have come to being open in a staggered manner, but always open every day during school holiday periods. Is that right? So the Japara, Rainbow, Dimboola and Nil pools will be available on staggered days per week. With the repairs that are being done at Dimboola, are we anticipating that the Dimboola pool will be open during the summer? Yep.
Happy to answer that question. Yes, so we're proposing that the works to the Dimboola pool will commence once the season is completed. But depending on the contractor that is engaged, we may need to negotiate with them to fit in around their scheduling. So if we do need to look at closing the pool a couple of weeks earlier to start the works to ensure we get the contractor on site, it's something that we'll certainly communicate with the community around.
Yes. Thank you. I think it's been so valuable to be able to keep the swimming pools free. And you've also addressed the issues in regard to how people will know when the pools are open. Are you able to talk to that at all? How will people know? Because, you know, there are different days and you can get confusing, and whether it's going to be 30 degrees at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock and all of that's set out here. How can people find out if the pool's open?
So through you, Mr. Mayor, the best starting point will be the Facebook page, and we'll provide the most up-to-date information will be published on the Facebook page. In terms of hot weather extensions, it's complex policy area because there's a lot of variables in terms of how many people are at the pool, staffing availability. But we know that what the community needs is really effective communication around that. So we're going to endeavour to publish the daily hours by 12 p.m. on our Facebook page, and also have a single dedicated number that you can call at any time of the day when pools are normally open, and that person will know what the hours are for that day across all 4 pools and be able to give you accurate information.
That's fantastic. Very good.
That phone number will be printed in big letters.
So we currently have phones contactable for each pool, but we're going to aim to have a single number for this purpose, because we know that that's probably where a lot of the volume of calls are going to come in.
Yeah, but if there's a sign up that's very prominent that they can see the phone number if they get there and the gate's not open, that they can call. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, okay. All right, any further discussion, questions? Councillor, you got, no? Go. All right, there is a recommendation.
I'll move that the council endorses the service changes listed below, noting that the operational changes may be discretion of the CEO, and all the service changes. I don't think I need to read them all out, do I? There's a lot.
Just as per the table.
As per the table, yeah.
I think I'll accept that, councillor Barry.
It's a lot. And look, the biggest thing is always what we need to do is make sure, look at Facebook. If it's going to be hot and if you want to know something, ring someone up.
Yeah.
Don't just assume.
Yeah. Okay, do I have a second? Councillor Barker. Want to comment any further, councillor Barry? No? Councillor Barker?
Thank you.
No, all right, motion all in favour? Against? Motion's carried, thank you. Item 10.4, summary of planning permits approved under delegation Q2 2025. This report summarises the planning permit application approved by the CEO under delegation from the period of 1st of April 2025 to the 30th of June 2025, quarter 2 2025. It includes planning permits approved under the Smart process. A total of 7 planning permits of this nature were approved during this period. So there's 7 listed there, and I'll ask for any comment. Questions? Councillor Barker.
Thank you, Mayor. It's me. I do have a question. I have a number of questions, sorry. The nil silo went through for a permit as a museum. Are we able to learn a little bit more about the reasoning for that, please? Or what that means for the nil silo group or our town?
Yeah, so it was proposed to, you know, that area, the silo area was proposed to be developed as a the museum, and the permit was triggered because of the place of assembly. Is that what you're?
Yeah, does it mean that, because they applied for it, the nil silo group?
Yeah.
And does that mean that they will be able to apply for funding in a certain way, or what's the benefit of being, is there a benefit in being a museum in our town?
So the planning permit allows them to for the use that they're looking to use it for. So they are looking to develop it as a museum. I'm not sure if you've been inside, but they do have a lot of history around the silo in there. It's absolutely worthwhile going and having a look at. And so they will be able to apply for funding as it becomes available. But this was the purpose that the community came together and purchased the silo for. So we're just allowing through the planning process to make sure that it is activity is appropriate to the space.
Yes, very good, thank you. Also the raptor rehabilitation permit there. What is the what is the impact on that? Or is there like neighbours around that property? Is there, is there just the raptors? Is there other animals at this facility?
The planning permit was definitely advertised for the community to provide the input, and there was no feedback received. Or if if there was a objection received for that one, it would have come to the council for discussion. This was a straightforward permit which did not have any objections.
Thanks.
So the permit is allowing the use of the old Jurang tennis courts to be used for birds that have been injured. And so the wildlife rehabilitation clinic based at Jurang has multiple different animals. And when you've got a large bird like a wedge-tailed eagle, they need space to be able to learn to fly again.
Right.
So I've worked out of that place and put up some protective netting for the raptors so they don't crash into the fences. So it's soft vest fencing, which they got a grant from. What's the word for a philosophical society? People that what is it?
Philanthropy.
Philanthropy.
Oh,
that word there anyway. So she's doing a great job out there, and there's people willing to put money up towards it. So the area that she got was across the road from the lady's house, which wasn't getting used, and it's going to be quite a great area for eagles. She just picked up an eagle out towards between Mill and Rainbow the other week, which was pretty ill, but it's now out there and getting better and will be released. So
Very good.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
And also I see there were two permits there, planning permits there for I assume Lover Duck and Arms. And I'm just really pleased to see our local businesses expanding, and us as a council being able to support them to move through the planning permit stages and thriving businesses in our area. So I assume that was Lover Duck and Hearns by the addresses that were in there. Kind of a question.
Yeah, it was definitely Lover Duck. 1816 was the amendment of the permit to change from 1 lagoons to 4 as their treatment base.
Yep. It's good to see expansion in our council, in our shire, isn't it? And to be able to support those businesses.
Okay, any further questions? If not, there is a recommendation.
I'll move that the council notes that planning applications are approved by the CEO under the delegation for the period 1st of April 2025 to 30th of June 2025.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Councillor Aiken, like to speak to the motion, Councillor Barrett?
Yeah, the CEO doing it saves us talking about it here, as we have today, but it's all good.
All right. What? All right, put the motion, all in favour? Against, motion carried. Thank you. Item 10.5, agreement under section 173 of the Planning and Environment Act 1987, Faith Street, Dimboola, for approval under the Common Seal. This report seeks council authorisation for the use of the Common Seal of Hindmarsh Shire Council to execute the attached section 173 agreement. The section 173 agreement is proposed in accordance with condition 3 of the approved planning permit PA 1878/2024 for the subject land lot 1 on the title plan 874548J, known as 36 Faith Street, Dimboola, Victoria 3414. The purpose of this section 173 agreement is to ensure that the land is developed for a dwelling and market garden in accordance with planning permit PA 1878-2024 and associated endorsed plans. And I'll open that up to discussion.
Well, looking at what we got sent through, the person whoever was applied for done a great job.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot like chicken coil runs, compost, all in that little area, and if it goes through, it's all good.
Yes, agreed.
Put a lot of effort into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, on that note.
Take a motion.
I'd like to make the motion that council authorises the use of the Common Seal in compliance with Hindmarsh Shire Council Governance Local Law in the execution of the section 173 agreement for lot 1 on title plan 874548J 36 Faith Street, Dimboola, Victoria 3414, in accordance with condition 3 on approved planning permit PA 18782024.
Thank you. I have a seconder.
I'll take that.
Councillor Lloyd, thank you. You'd like to speak to the motion, Councillor Barrett?
Yes, I'd like to reiterate what councillor Barry said there. I think that this looks like a really well thought out plan and it's good to see how people investing in housing and development in our shire. Thank you.
Councillor Lloyd, you'd like to comment?
Yeah, like I agree with everyone. It's great to see progress in small towns, so well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, having said that, I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, motion carried. Thank you. Item 10.6, capital works progress update. Well, this report presents council with an update of the progress of the 2024-2025 capital works program. This program includes projects carried forward from the 2023-2024 plant purchases, road constructions, building maintenance and major projects. At the conclusion of the 2024-2025 financial year, capital works delivery was 85% complete. There were 2 plant items that did not proceed to procurement as they are no longer required. A few projects were not commenced due to lack of approval from other agencies, and additionally some projects are still in progress due to being multi-year projects, including the Lou Shilling silo and Davis Park change rooms and undercover seating. During the 2024-2025 council's outdoor team actioned over 700 customer requests and dealt with over 400 work tickets for maintenance tasks that were identified under the proactive inspections. I'll now open it up for discussion, questions.
I'll just, one thing about the Lou Shilling silo at Rainbow. We noticed that the first portion of the lift tower has been put up, and plus some some footsteps or a walkway around the bottom, so it's finally, some action's happening up there, which is good. Yeah. I don't know. Just a comment. You have a question?
Thank you.
Get the water?
Thank you, Mayor Ismay. I am a little bit concerned and disappointed to see that there's been a delay with the Davis Park grandstand and change rooms. Initially, when I started as a councillor, it was due to be completed by July, and now it's pushed out to the end of October. Can we have any explanation in regard to what's happening there, please, and thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Barker. We definitely have been trying at our best to complete the project at time. Well, we always have that effort. There were some hiccups on the way. The major contractor who was delivering the project had the hiccup where the subcontractor pulled out at the last moment to do the concrete work, so they had to organise another contractor. And this happened at the last moment when they were supposed to be on the site. And that's where there was a bit of a time lapse in there. And, you know, the recent wet weather has delayed, it has compounded that delay a bit more. And hence we're, you know, we've got concreters lined up, and the seating suppliers lined up, and, you know, everything's lined up. It's all dependent on a lot of factors, including the weathers and the contractors and everything. So, October, we're hoping the project will be completed at our best, but you know, the delays were because of those reasons.
I understand the delays. There was anticipating being able to, you know, do a grand final there this year in September. Is there any likelihood that, you know, you say you've got those lined up? Can we push just a little bit to get it done as soon as possible? As you know, like I know I'm asking for the weather to be perfect and everything,
yeah,
and for contractors to be available. But just you know, as I would like to push for that basis, understanding that our sporting facilities are a very important part of our Nil community.
Yeah, no, we have been made aware of that by the club, and we've definitely been working with the contractor to get the things moving as quickly as possible. We've offered the club to provide any help that they need in holding the finals in that ground.
We'll do our best.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
When you awarded the contract, you know, to that little Davis Park, you got one person doing the whole building, haven't you?
Yeah.
So how come yous are getting involved in the concreters and all that stuff?
No, we're not getting involved. So
That's what they're telling you. Have they got, you know, is it like a big project? If they get delayed, do they get penalised?
they, you know, there are clauses in the contract, but you know,
Let's face it, the weather actually hasn't been that bad. 1 or 2 wet days this year so far. You got to,
yeah. So concrete pulling out in the last moment was one of the major delays. There were other delays at the start as well, where we lost a bit of time selecting the seeds and all those things. There was some compounding issues, which, you know, if the council wants, we can bring the detailed report on. You know, we can go with the contractor to do the, you know, the liquidated damage, those things, but it also again causes has the tendency to cause more you know, delays.
like I say, personally, I was there on the weekend and the council's copping a lot of flack from all their members and supporters. And I've just got to say, well, I kind of agree with you guys, but it's not really the council's fault. It's the guy that is employed to do it.
Yeah. So we're working with the contractor and we're working with the club to, you know, achieve the best possible outcome as much as possible.
Thank you.
And for Rosie, you'd be better off if you didn't have the grand final, because teams in the grand final never get the grand final. You won a final.
I'll pass that on. But you know, as we have the winning team, you know, we'll give it a hot try.
Okay. Could I just ask, Tarrant York East Road, is that the road we discussed recently?
Yes, yes.
And where did we get to with that? Is that,
No, that was Turning West Road.
oh, sorry.
East Road is, that's the flood recovery job.
Oh, right.
I was carried
Yeah,
forward.
sorry.
But
Yeah.
I'm happy to talk about the Turning East Road if you want. That was included.
Yep.
So, the job, was completed by the contractor. It was, completed in a hurry because the wet weather, was coming and, you know, during the construction, the contractor was supposed to bring the material from the drain to shape it, to make it, 4 to 6% grade on the road. But because of the wet weather, he could not bring, they could not bring the material from the drain. And hence there are some locations where, the grades are higher than 6%. The contractor has made promises that they will come back and make it good when the weather is a bit better. We have not paid the full amount.
Thank you. Councillor Aiken, you wanted to say something?
Oh, no, I was waiting for the fucking move.
Okay, right. Well, I'll take a motion if someone wants to move.
Oh, through the chair, if I could move a motion that the council notes the capital works of 2024-2025 update report.
Thank you. And a seconder? Councillor Barrett? Want to speak to the motion? No, Councillor Barrett?
I guess that one, the Tarrant York Road, work, whatever you pronounce it correctly, we would. Had a fair couple of complaints for the people that live there. It is wrong.
No,
They're not happy.
we have definitely inspected it and we acknowledge there's a problem and it will be rectified.
And I do appreciate that. I think you offered, to fix it up, to get them in there. That's what they said, but that's good. That's good to see.
All right. Nothing further? The motion, all in favour? Against, the motion carried. Thank you.
I'd just like to say that, putting these updates to the reports is a new innovation I've seen. And I just think it's great that we're kept up to date with what's happening with the roads, because as councillors and what's happening with buildings and stuff, it's good to be able to respond to those and know where things are up to.
Oh, well, I agree. I even get from our up at Rainbow Way that these reports, people are listening and we're getting more information than we've ever had before, so it's noticed.
Good. Good comment. All right. Item 10.7, Cemetery Trust Management. This report considers a request from the Victorian Department of Health that Hindmarsh Shire Council take over the land management of 3 cemeteries within the Shire, Lorquin, Catchell and Lochiel, due to there being no active trust members. Council currently manages Bleak House, open, and Upper Regions, closed cemeteries through its finance department. As much of the reporting relates to finance and records, the department has confirmed that the cemeteries could be closed to future burial through the management transition process. While the department has indicated that there will be minimal responsibility should council become land manager, it incorporates another 3 sites into council's asset register, requires absorption of insurance and maintenance costs, as well as administration in relation to community inquiries for state government asset. There is no income that can be generated from a closed cemetery, and there are no resources provided to assist in the cost of managing the land. Management of cemeteries is a voluntary role, and there is no obligation on council to accept this request. So
I have a question.
we can't charge exit fees, can we? No.
Oopsie. I have a question.
Yeah.
I thank you, Mayor Esme. I wonder, I can understand adding to our asset list and not being reimbursed for the cost of that from state government is, not appropriate. So what if we deny taking on this responsibility, what could or will happen to the cemeteries if not managed by Hindmarsh Shire?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to answer that.
Yeah.
The department indicated that it had been around 10 years since they'd been able to contact an active trust member. So clearly they've just been left to sit for a long time. What we're hoping to do in our communications with them is to encourage contacting key community members that have personal links to those cemeteries, because they do exist and there might be some interest in managing them over time. And that is a more appropriate way in the way that most cemetery trusts are managed, including those within the Shire.
So that's good. So then you would inform them of, they might be looking at a particular name, like my main name is Tattersall, but whereas in other Barker, so that you would be informing them of potential people that, or families or connections.
With privacy in mind, yes, absolutely. And we'd be happy to work as a liaison between the department and community members within reason.
Thank you.
Any further questions? If not, there's a motion. The recommendation for the motion, as well. Councillor Barker?
I would like to move that the council writes to the Department of Health and advises that it does not accept land management responsibilities for Cattle, Lorquin and Lochiel cemeteries.
Thank you. Second, Councillor Barry, like to speak to the motion?
I think that it's as if it was my family, I would be more than happy to take care of that cemetery myself, considering the size of them, or to invest my time into that. So I'm sure the families would be better placed to engage with that than leaving it to adding to our council's expenses, where we have other roads and buildings and things to be more concerned about at this point in time.
Yeah, Councillor Barry?
Oh, look, sadly, it's a part of life. Doesn't matter where you go in Australia. In the outback, there's empty cemeteries everywhere. On top, but underground, they're full.
Okay. So, put the motion, all in favour? Guys? Motion carried, thank you. Item 10.8, Council Plan 2021-2025 and Action Plan 2024-2025 review. This report presents Council both with an overview of the delivery of the Council Plan 2021-2025 and Council Plan actions identified for the 2024-2025 financial year. The Council Plan centres around four key themes: our community, built and natural environment, competitive and innovative economy, good governance and financial stability. The Council Plan 2021-2025 was built around the ideas, concerns and priorities of our community and has set the work plan for councillors and council staff over the last 4 years. This plan brought Hindmarsh Shire Council out of COVID and committed us to projects, events and services that help rebuild our tourism industry, social connection and opportunities to participate in sports, recreation, education and volunteering. The activities set out in the plan have resulted in major infrastructure projects like the tennis club in Nil, Chaparrat Riverside Precinct, Rainbow Female Friendly Change Rooms, Nil Cane Ball Court, upgrades to the Dimboola Sound Shell, cabins across the 4 holiday parks and construction at Rainbow Lake. Council prioritised improving the quality of our roads and footpaths and supporting our farming community to get where they need to go. Council continued offering grants to community groups and businesses to help them upgrade, repaint, run events and support locals to make Hindmarsh a brilliant place to live, work and visit. The years were not without challenges and Council continues to work to be more communicative, transparent, efficient and engaged with everyone in Hindmarsh. It has been a group effort the whole way and Council thanks every community member of staff, funding body and stakeholder group who did their bit to deliver the 2021-2025 Council plan. In the 2024-2025, just under 90% of actions were delivered or substantially delivered. with highlights including partial construction of the Lee Shilling Silo Art Project and Davis Park AFL compliant change rooms and tiered seating, upgrades to the Nil Aerodrome, operation of Hindmarsh outdoor pools, completion of the mechanics workshop in Japan, and successfully receiving funding for a number of exciting projects to be completed in 2025, 2026. Didn't realise we've done so much over the last 4 years. Very impressive. I think it is anyway. So, open it up for discussion.
I have a question, and I would also like to comment in the motion. So the question I have is, it says here, and I think it's been fantastic work by the past council, may I say, to create this plan for 2021 to 2025. Can understand what they went through, talking to community and coming up with these ideas. I think there was the impressive increase of communication between and engagement techniques between council and you're sending out newsletters, social media. It's been a great thing to see, and I think the community has reflected very strongly to me about that. I would like to ask the question. It says here that the community was provided opportunities for the LGBTIQ+ community to inform council on barriers to accessing council services and facilities. So I'm just wondering if you are able to comment on the type of things that you engaged with over the past 4 years in that regard.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'm happy to answer that. So we formed the Hindmarsh Pride Committee in this term. Unfortunately, we didn't get a strong membership base, but the people we had were brilliant, but it meant that we weren't able to have as frequent meetings as we wanted. But they gave us some brilliant ideas that we weren't able to enact. It included like drag bingo and ways that we could make our public facilities a little bit more pride friendly. We also engaged with the local government Rainbow Ready roadmap, bit of a mouthful, that sets out a specific set of steps that you can take as a local government area to be more welcoming and friendly. We proudly fly the flags outside our buildings and libraries, and we've also reinvigorated the Hindmarsh Pride Committee, and we'll be hopefully having our first meeting in the next couple of weeks, so it's something we can continue over the next 4 years.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, any further comment from anywhere? Questions? No? Okay, we have a recommendation.
I'd like to move that council receives the council plan 2021 to 2025 and the action plan for 2024-2025 review.
Thank you. Secondly, Councillor Barry. Like to speak to the motion?
Yes, I thought there were so many great things that happened in the past 4 years. Well done to the councillors there. We've got 2 new kindergartens on school sites. Fantastic effort. What's his name? Simon, who put it all together at the last minute, I think he spent I don't know how many hours putting all the furniture together. It's come together really well. I think the parents are really happy. We've got Emerge involved. Councillors working closely with those teams. I could go on and on. There's just a lot. The cane ball court. It's important for us to support and encourage the migrants and the refugees that are relocated into Hindmarsh. They, especially here into Nil, that they contribute a lot. You only need to ask in the community what they do. They'll be there putting up Christmas lights or involved in community very strongly. So it's the least we can do is to support them, and of course our various businesses that they run here as well. There are some things that are still ongoing, especially in regard to advocating and lobbying for improved mental health services for all ages in our community. I do think, and it's one of my passions is mental health, and I think that out here in the Wimmera, it is an opportunity for Nil to be a focal point for that, in the future. So I love that is ongoing. Let's do it. Thank you.
Councillor Barry.
Here, Rosie. Well said. Looking forward to the opening of the Lucy Shilling and Davis Park.
Yes.
Okay. No further comment from anyone around the table? No? Okay. Put the motion, all in favour? Against? Motion's carried. Thank you. Item 10.9, Road Management Plan Review. This report recommends that council adopts the Road Management Plan 2025 to 2029 as required by section 54-5 of the Road Management Act 2004 and gives notice of this adoption in Victorian Government Gazette and local newspapers. So, questions? Comment?
Why haven't we got more money to fix all the roads? That's all we want. We want better roads. Come around.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 of the shires across this country.
Correct, sadly.
All right. We do have a recommendation there. In that case, if someone's got anything, great. Well, Aiken, you wanting to say something?
Right. You got something?
Yeah.
No,
I'll move that the council adopts a road management plan 2025 to 2029 as required by section 54-5, whatever that is, of the Road Management Act 2004 and give notice of the adoption of the plan in the Victorian Government Gazette and local newspapers.
Okay. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Lloyd. Thank you. Like to speak to the motion?
No, like I said, we have endless money bit, we'll use it.
Yeah,
We can just do what we can with what we've got.
all we can do.
Prioritising.
Councillor, you want to make any comment?
Just the fact that we're doing our best with roads, it is a top priority. So once again,
With what we've got, yeah. We all agree. All we can do is agree, isn't it? Anyway, put the motion, all in favour? Against, motion carried, thank you. Item 10.10, interim financial report ending 30th of June 2025. The interim financial report to 30th of June 2025 has been prepared, including explanation of variances where applicable. This report is interim in nature and provides up-to-date information on council's financial position, while the end of the year annual financial report is being prepared and audited. There are several variances between budgeted and actual revenue and expenditure, including additional revenue from Hindmarsh Holiday Park fees due to council's assuming management of the Nil Holiday Park during the financial year and a significant increase in patronage at Dimboola Riverside Holiday Park throughout the year. Operating grants are higher than budgeted, and as council received 50% of the 2025-2026 financial assistance grants in June 2025 within the current financial year. Other minor grants were also higher than expected due to the recognition of grant funding carried forward from previous years for ongoing projects. Expenditure on salaries is over budget due to council decisions made after the adoption of the budget that impacted staffing requirements. These included bringing the Nil Holiday Park under direct council management in September 2024 and operating the swimming pools directly for the 2024-25 season. Salary expenditure for the Nil Holiday Park is offset by income received from park fees, while swimming pool salary costs have been reallocated from contract services to employee costs. As at 30th of June 2025, council was holding 13.18 million in cash. This high balance reflects grant funded capital projects that remain incomplete and will be carried forward into the 2025-2026 financial year. It also includes the early receipt of 50% of financial assistance grants for the 2025-2026. Council expenditure on capital works was 8.496 million against a budget of 6.171 million. The variance is due to additional grant funding received during the year for capital projects and the expenditure of funds on projects carried forward from 2023, 2024. The report also outlines non-financial indicators, including the progress of planned capital works projects for 2024, 2025, planning permits issued, customer service statistics, and the number of animals processed through the pound. There is a spike in animals through the pound as council prioritised managing cat overpopulation in Q4 of 2024-25. The final annual financial report will be presented at the council meeting in September 2025, following the completion of the Victorian Auditor General's Office VAGO audit. And after that, I'll open it up for discussion. And might I just say right at the start, the financial assistance grants governments in past years that I've been sitting around this table, the government seem to want to give us money early, so it gets it off their books and gives it to us and makes us look like we've got a lot of money, but we don't.
It does help us gain extra interest throughout the year, though.
Yeah, and also at least we account for it appropriately.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, question, discussion.
Question.
Yep.
I noticed that there was approximately 781,000 income from property and plant was sold in the year. I was wondering if we could review what that was from.
That's politically used. I'm not going to answer it. So any of the plants that we replaced in the current financial year were sold through the auction, and we also did the review of any surplus plants that were in. So there might be some of the plants that were replaced last year, but the replacement, the older plant was still held over for use by additional staff, and some of those were not sold. And we did a big revamp of big review of all the plants and sold whatever the plants were not required. Yep, so there's a big list of sold items.
So they were predominantly done through auction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, yeah, we're looking at the efficiency of our plant. And if there's plant that we own that's not getting utilised and we could hire it in for a week or two when we require it, then there's no point in us holding on to that item of plant, paying insurance, paying registration for it to sit in the yard. We're better off to hire it in as we need it.
Yeah, good management. Also did notice for the local roads and bridges, and I think it was touched on with what you were speaking about there, Ron, what you read out. Just to reiterate, there was a local roads and bridges was about 2.7 million, and the budget was 4.3. So I'm just wondering why we came in less than what we budgeted for.
Yeah, so we budgeted to with the anticipation that we will receive the funding through a heavy vehicle safety and productivity program back then. Now it's called Safe Local Roads and Infrastructure Program. We put it for 2 of the projects, and both of them were rejected recently.
So we used up the capacity of what we had.
So we utilised our allocation amount to reconstruct the worst section of the road.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'll just add, I think it's worth noting that because we weren't successful in the past financial year, doesn't mean we're not continuing to try.
Yeah.
So the grant round is open again now until September, and so we'll be working on putting another application in.
Very good. Good to hear. Thank you.
Okay, any further questions from anywhere? No? All right, I have a recommendation there for someone to.
Yeah, I'd like to move that the council notes the interim financial report for the period ending 30th of June 2025 as presented.
Thank you. And a seconder,
Yes.
Councillor Barker, like to speak to the motion?
Yes, I would.
Would you? I didn't ask you. I was actually asking to move it, but seeing he doesn't want to speak, I'll now ask you if you want
I heard the RO part. What are you going to say, Roger? Ms. Roger? Thank you.
Thank Councillor Barker. I'll move back here.
Did you want to speak?
No.
I was impressed that the holiday parks have performed above budget even with the fires over the 12 months. So it demonstrates the potential for the year ahead, which is quite exciting. And it was also good to see the potential surplus of 5 million. Well done to, it's always important and often overlooked how important it is to keep a close eye on the finances. As I've read in the newspaper, a number of councillors, and on social media and whatnot, that through the news that there's a number of councils that are really struggling to maintain their budgets and their finances in this very difficult time.
I wouldn't say that we wouldn't be immune from that situation because things can change, and we have got some of that money in early, so that probably inflates the figure a little bit. But yeah, certainly it's tough times for everyone, and yeah, some councils probably haven't been able to make ends meet as well as we have. So we're very fortunate, and we've got a very good executive staff and people in the accounting section, and that we've got a very quality of people around us that are making sure that we
I
aren't
agree.
squandering money.
I agree, Mayor Ismay. It's very easy to feel like we're wanting to comply with all the requests that people put to us as councillors, because our community is important, and we'd love to, and sometimes you hold back to look at the bigger picture of what money is available to do what, so over periods of time.
All right.
Yeah.
No further comment. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? Motion carried. Thank you. Item 11.1, advisory committees. And we have Rainbow Township Advisory, Rainbow Township Advisory, the 19th of May, the 16th of June, Japara Township Advisory Committee, and a confidential one is also. Sorry?
Expression of interest.
Oh, expression of interest, sorry. So, I'm not sure that I need to say too much more than that. It's all in front of you there. So, unless someone wants to make a comment or whatever, we'll put a recommendation at the bottom there.
Do you want me to do the recommendation, seeing the most from Japara and Rainbow?
That's correct.
Yes.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah.
That's okay. Through the chair, I'd like to move that the council notes the minutes from the following advisory committees from Rainbow Township meetings held on the 19th of May 2025 and the 16th of June 2025. Japara Township meeting held on the 9th of June 2025, and I was all over here. Number 2 points. Is it Julie McDonald to the Neil Township Advisory Committee for the current term ending the 30th of June 2027.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Barker, like to speak to the motion? No. Councillor Barker?
Oh, I think it's great that Julie McDonald is involved with the Lions. And again, these are the people, they always put their hands up for more, and they're proactive for our community and all the people that are involved with the Rainbow and Japara Towns committees. Thank you.
All right. Nothing further. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against? The motion carried. Thank you. 11.2 community asset committees, and we have the Women Mallee Pioneer Museum and a confidential expression of interest again. And a recommendation.
Let me see. Looks like it's for the
patch also.
my patch also.
Even need to ask me whether it could be you that puts it forward. So
Through the chair, Mayor, I'd like to move that the council, number 1, notes the minutes of the following Community Asset Committee Wimmera Pioneer Museum meeting held on the 20th of May 2025. Number 2, appoints, excuse my pronunciation, is it Natalie? No? Natalia?
I don't know whether I can help you with the last bit.
Well, we'll go, Gary, how's that sound? To the Wimmera Mallee Pioneer Museum Community Assets Committee for the current term ending the 30th of June, 2026.
Thank you. And a seconder? Councillor Barry? Like to speak the motion?
No.
Councillor Barry, no. No further comment. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Against, motion carried. Thank you. Item 12, late reports, and there aren't any. Item 13, notice of motion, and there aren't any of those either. Item 14, other business. And I'll start with you, Councillor Lloyd, seeing you right up there in the background.
No other business for me, thank you.
No other business, okay. Councillor Aiken,
No other business, Chair.
Councillor Barker,
No other business.
Councillor Barry.
No other business.
No other business. I don't know that I've got anything other than the bins I raised with someone earlier about the Variety Club Bash people. I think that's all in hand. Okay, item 15, confidential reports. In accordance with section 66(2), Part A of the Local Government Act 2020, council may close the meeting to public to consider confidential information. Confidential information is defined by Part B of the Freedom of Information Act 1982 and by Section 3 of the Local Government Act 2020 being council business information being information that would prejudice council's position in commercial negotiations if prematurely released. Security of council property, of the safety of any person, land use planning information being information that is prematurely released is likely to encourage speculation in land values. Law enforcement information being information which is released would be reasonably likely to prejudice the investigation into an alleged breach of the law or the fair trial of hearing of any person. Legal privilege information being information to which legal professional privilege or client legal privilege applies. Personal information being information which is released, if released, would result in the unreasonable disclosure of information about any person or their personal affairs. Private commercial information being information provided by a business, commercial or financial undertaking that one relates to trade secrets, or two, if released, would unreasonably expose a business, commercial or financial undertaking to disadvantage. Confidential meeting information being the records of meetings closed to the public under sections 66 to Part A. Internal attribution information being information specified in section 145. Councillor conduct panel confidential information being information specified in section 169. Information prescribed by the regulations to be confidential information for the purposes of this definition. Information that was confidential information for the purpose of sections 77 of the Local Government Act. And we have a recommendation.
I can read it out. I move the motion. Yep, I'd like to move the motion.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool, sorry, just some getting bips. That the meeting be closed in accordance with section 66 2 Part A of the Local Government Act 2020 to consider reports that contain confidential information as defined by section 3 of the Local Government Act 2020 and or Part 4 of the Freedom of Information Act 1982 and following consideration of items 15.1 to 15.2, close the council meeting. In relation to 15.1, purchase of fuel cards for service stations within Hindmarsh Shire. This reports contain council business information, being information that would prejudice the council's position in commercial negotiations if prematurely released insofar as it pertains to contractual matters. And 15.2, award of contract 2024-2025, part 42, supply of gravel and crushed rock. This report contains private commercial information, being information provided by a business, commercial or financial undertaking that, if released, would unreasonably expose the business, commercial or financial undertaking to disadvantage insofar as it pertains to contractual matters.
Thank you, Councillor Roy. Well done. Seconder, Councillor Barry. All right, are we going to close on? Sorry? Yeah, I think, yeah, sorry, I'm getting thought from the background there and I wasn't quite understanding what I was being told. Okay, so we will now, sorry? I thought you were going to say that. All right, so thank you everyone. We'll close the meeting now, but thank you everyone that's been sitting around today, this afternoon, listening in or watching in on the meeting. We appreciate your interest in what we do here around the council table, and I know there are quite a few people who do watch our council meetings. I've often thought it's like watching Frank drive it, but I'm sure it's of interest. But anyway, thank you all for being out there today, and we'll look forward to being here again next month. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry. Move the motion to close the meeting.
No.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, sorry. All in favour of the motion, sorry. Just yell at me, would you? I'm not any good at sign language.